Hi everybody, TJ Mack Vintage Cards and Nostalgia here. And a couple weeks ago, we celebrated the opening day of baseball season. Now, I live in the Northeast where the winters are long and cold, and opening day is not only the start of baseball, but it's more than that. It's the promise that warmer weather is on the way and that summer is right around the corner. And there'll be days spent outside in the yard throwing the ball around with my kids, the water balloon fights, roasting marshmallows, the popsicle stained tongues from all the freeze pops that they eat. And we get to enjoy all the summer festivals in the area that I live in. However, this year is going to be a little different for me in that it's the first time in the last 11 years that I'm not coaching one of my kids in Little League. My youngest son, Joe, has given up baseball and instead wants to focus on swimming and playing flag football. My youngest daughter, Rachel, and oldest son, Mike, now play travel and school softball and baseball. And my oldest daughter, Catherine, is graduating from high school this year and is focusing on college and work. Yes, the times are changing, and I have to change with them. I loved coaching Little League Baseball. I've had the pleasure of coaching every level from T-ball all the way up to the seniors, which go to age 16. It was fun to teach them, not only my kids, but all the kids I coached, the fundamentals of the game and the life lessons that baseball teaches, such as you'll inevitably fail at something, but how you recover and move forward will define who you are. And the game also teaches you about teamwork and how you may have teammates you don't really like, but when you look across the field and see that other uniform, you know this is your teammate and you have their back. Now, though this season it's going to be sad for me in a lot of ways, I can look back at the kids I've influenced and those that influenced me. So here's a ball, for example, that a mom made for me last year, and you can see all the kids' names on it that I coached last season. And this is going to turn out to be the last ball for a team that I've managed, and it's just a very special keepsake to me, and it's something that I keep on my desk as a reminder of how much I love the game of baseball. And one of the things that I also did that was important to me is when the kids started playing competitive ball at around the age of 8, I would always have an awards ceremony at the end of the year, whether we won the championship or not. And I would give each kid a league ball, and the coaches and I would put on them, and you can see one right here. This is my oldest son's ball. We'd have on there the main positions. Hopefully I can get that glare off. You see there the main positions that they played that season. He was a first baseman, pitcher, and then if made the all-star team. And then what we would do is we would take an award and name it after a player. So here's, for example, the Lou Gehrig Iron Horse Award. It's for never missing a game or a practice. And my son Michael is always number 7 when he played baseball. Still is, playing today. And it was just very important to me to have these types of recognitions for the kids. There's our record, 7-5 that year. And though I'm not a big fan of participation trophies per se, I understand why they give them to little kids. But when kids get older, they're not necessarily always going to win a championship every year. Sometimes we did, but we always want to recognize the great achievements and show how proud we are as coaches of the kids that we lead throughout the season. Now, some of the other awards we'd give out is a team MVP, and we'd either call it the Babe Ruth or Mike Trout MVP award. I always got to show cards in my video, so I'm going to do this by showing cards. The Trout's from my son's collection. We have Mike Trout Big Bad Award, and that's a card my son pulled right out of the pack. My son Michael, Judge is his favorite player, so he was just so pleased to have that. So one of our bigger power hitters we give an Aaron Judge award to. And then we do positional ones. Last year, my youngest son Joe got a Johnny Bench Outstanding Catcher Award. We'd have Paul Goldschmidt First Base Award. and then one for Garrett Cole. And we'll change the pitchers and the players that we use for the position ones. And we use a mix of older and newer players, and I think it allows kids to maybe learn more about those players as well. That's why we name them after them. But there are two awards that we usually give out, depending if somebody's earned them, and I'm going to share those now. The first is the Mickey Mantle Great Teammate Award. And when I'd give this out to a teammate that really put the other players in front of himself, I'd always talk about Mickey Mantle and his plaque at Yankee Stadium and Monument Park, and how it said Mickey Mantle, a great teammate, and how he was always so proud of that plaque. No matter how great a player he was, he really treasured the fact that he was looked at as a great teammate, somebody that would lay down a bunt for the team or do whatever it took, play hurt to advance the team and win the game. So that's a very important award for me. And the other one here is this Pete Gray award that we would give out. And this is a book that I had when I was a kid, and I read it so much. It's water stained, it's covers off of it. I loved this book, and it was about Pete Gray, who was a one-armed major leaguer. He played for the St. Louis Browns in 1945 for part of a season. And we would give an award out to that kid that maybe didn't have a ton of ability, but got the most out of what he had, and really surprised us oftentimes in a lot of ways of how great he did. So that was an award that we would often give out if we had a kid that, again, met that expectation and did those things to earn that award. And that's one of the things I'm going to miss, is those types of recognitions. And my kids don't know I do YouTube videos. Again, I'm a pretty private person, and I use my channel in a lot of ways, to express my love of card collecting, but I also save these videos and hope that they'll be able to enjoy them one day. And I don't share all the videos I do. Some are personal, and you probably wouldn't be that interested in them. And maybe you won't be that interested in this one, but this is one I thought you might like because it is baseball related. But for those of you who have children, or even remember when you were a child, the impact that a parent had on you, then maybe you'll understand how I feel right now in making this video. As all parents know too well, as young kids grow older, they need us less and less. And I don't think we know sometimes whether to be sad or beam with pride about that. And that's the thing about parenting, though, isn't it? It's one of those jobs where the better you are at it, the more likely you won't be needed in the long run. And that is until they mature, of course, and realize that they can do things on their own, that they're independent and stronger, that they come back to you. And I think that's just important, and we just got to weather that. So this year, I'm not going to be part of Little League opening day. There'll be no parade, no gathering of all the teams on Diamond Number 1 for the opening day ceremonies, where you listen to the local politicians give boring speeches. There'll be no opportunity for me to be in the dugout listening to the kids banter back and forth, me jawing with the other coaches that I know for many years across the diamond. These are all things that I'm going to miss, and the more as time goes on, I think I'm just going to be grateful that I had the opportunity to coach all 4 of my kids and many other kids. So until next time, I hope everybody has a great weekend, and we'll talk again soon.